There's something quiet about home. The way the light softens through the window at 7 a.m., the familiar creak of a floorboard you've walked across 1,000 times, the corner where you always place your cup of tea. It's more than a structure. It's a keeper of memories, a sanctuary, a symbol of comfort, routine, and safety. But as we age, something strange can happen to this beloved space. Without us even realizing, it starts to change. Not physically at first, but in how it relates to our bodies. A place that once felt like second nature begins to feel unpredictable. The step down to the living room that used to feel effortless now makes you pause. The bathroom tile that always looked so clean now feels slick and slightly menacing after a shower. You find yourself gripping counters, watching your footing, double-checking the lights. You haven't changed homes, but the way you move through it has changed. And that shift matters more than most people talk about. Growing older brings with it quiet adjustments in how we walk, how we balance, how we respond to sudden movements. Our muscles may not be as quick to react. Our vision changes. Even a minor moment, like getting out of bed too fast, can send a wave of dizziness. And here's the hard truth. Most falls happen in the home, not outside of it. Not in the places we expect, but in the exact spaces we trust most. This can feel disorienting because our homes are supposed to be safe. They are our shelter, our retreat. But unless we look closely, they can also become silent sources of risk. Rugs that once added coziness now add danger. Dim lighting that once felt calming becomes a recipe for a stumble. And the saddest part is that many older adults don't talk about these changes. They simply adapt. Slowly, quietly. They stop using certain rooms. They avoid the stairs. They sleep closer to the ground. Not out of preference, but out of precaution. But what if I told you that none of this is inevitable? That there are small, gentle changes, many of them so simple, that can make your home feel safe again. That you don't have to choose between independence and security. That aging in place, truly living well in your own home, is not just possible, but powerful. We often hear the phrase aging in place. But what does it really mean? For some, it's a desire to avoid the clinical feel of care facilities. For others, it's about dignity, control, and familiarity. And yet, the only way this dream can truly support our well-being is if our homes evolve with us. Not dramatically, not expensively, just intentionally. So many older adults have worked hard to build a life they love, and that includes the four walls they call home. But what we don't always realize is that our homes need a little love back. Just as we update our glasses when our vision changes, or our shoes when our arches ache, our homes, too, must grow with us. Not because we're fragile, but because we're wise enough to prevent harm before it happens. The beauty of this is that safety doesn't have to look sterile. It doesn't have to strip away style or warmth. It can be as elegant as a soft glow nightlight guiding your steps at 2 a.m. or a beautifully installed grab bar in a tiled shower, or the peace of mind that comes from knowing that one small modification might mean the difference between a quiet evening and an emergency. Most importantly, safety is not a sign of decline. It's a sign of respect. Respect for your body, your future, your peace. Respect for the life you've built and the years you still want to enjoy. And yet, so few people talk about it. Perhaps it's because safety doesn't sound glamorous. It doesn't have the same excitement as fitness goals or travel plans. But here's the secret. Nothing makes those dreams possible like safety does. Because nothing steals joy faster than fear. the fear of falling, of not being able to reach help, of being found too late. But now, imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up and walking barefoot to the kitchen with confidence. No need to reach for walls, no silent anxiety around the corner of that rug. Just peace, just movement, just presence. What comes next might be the most freeing truth of all. Safety isn't about living less. It's about living more freely, more fully, with fewer limits and more lightness. And the best part? It's not too late. Whether you're 65 or 85, whether you live alone or with family, whether your home is big, small, rented, or owned, there are steps you can take, starting now, that honor your independence and protect your future. So grab a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and stay with me through the next few parts of this journey. Because together, we'll gently uncover the hidden hazards that might be lurking in plain sight and find loving, doable ways to bring ease, safety, and joy back into the place you call home. Let's begin where many forget to look, at the most common hazards that quietly gather in homes like yours and mine. You might be surprised at what we've all gotten used to ignoring. It's strange, isn't it? The things that trip us up, sometimes literally, aren't always dramatic or obvious. They're often small, familiar, overlooked. And in the case of home safety for older adults, that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. Take the rug in your living room, for example. Maybe it's been there for decades. It matches the couch. You've vacuumed it every Saturday morning since the grandkids were in diapers. But now, something's changed. You catch your toe on the corner more often. The edge doesn't lie quite as flat as it used to. You might dismiss it. Oh, I'm just getting clumsy. But it's not you. It's the environment that hasn't caught up to who you are now. That's the sneaky thing about common home hazards. They hide in plain sight. We live among them for so long that they begin to feel like part of the scenery. But our bodies evolve. Our reflexes slow just a little. Our stride shortens. Our need for clear paths, steady lighting, and predictable surfaces becomes more important, but the home doesn't adjust on its own. We have to help it along. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits: slippery floors and loose rugs. Most falls at home happen in familiar rooms, places we walk through dozens of times a day, like the kitchen, hallway, or bathroom. That little area rug by the sink? It might shift just slightly when your heel hits it, but that shift can be enough to change everything. One slip and suddenly you're on the floor, shocked at how fast it happened. The irony is, these rugs often exist because they were meant to provide comfort or decoration. But when they're not secured or designed with grip in mind, they become traps. Now, let's talk about poor lighting. This one is subtle, and it creeps in with age, both our age and the home's. As our eyes grow older, they need more light to see clearly. That soft bulb you loved for ambiance 10 years ago might now leave entire corners of your hallway in shadow. And in those shadows, hazards multiply. A shoe left out, a step that's slightly uneven, the edge of a coffee table. Dim light turns minor obstacles into major risks. Some homes were built in eras when lighting was more about design than function. But now, lighting needs to be smart, thoughtful, responsive to the reality that you might get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom or make a cup of tea. That walk from bed to the kitchen might involve more turns than you realize, and more danger if you're navigating in semi-darkness. Then there's clutter and obstacles. This one feels personal, doesn't it? Because clutter isn't always mess. Sometimes it's life. It's the pile of books you've been meaning to sort through, It's the walking stick you don't really use, but haven't put away. It's the laundry basket left just outside the door while you were folding clothes. Clutter doesn't scream danger, but it whispers it, especially in high-traffic zones like hallways and stairwells. When paths are narrow, when corners are crowded, when floor space becomes unpredictable, every step carries more risk. And again, we tend to adapt without even realizing. We step sideways, we move slower, we avoid certain areas entirely. Not because we want to, but because deep down we sense the hazard. But here's something no one talks about. Recognizing these hazards isn't a sign of defeat. It's a sign of wisdom. It means you're paying attention. You're honoring the body you have now, the one that has carried you through so many years, and making thoughtful decisions about how to care for it. You see, most accidents at home don't happen because someone was reckless. They happen because the environment didn't match the reality of the person living in it. And that's not your fault. No one teaches us to look at our homes with new eyes every decade. But maybe it's time we did. What comes next might change how you see your surroundings forever. Every corner of your home is either helping you or asking more from you than it should. That narrow path between the dining table and the wall, it's asking you to twist your hips each time you pass through. That low cabinet with the heavy pot you always use, it's asking your knees to do work they no longer enjoy. That dark hallway from the bedroom to the bathroom, it's asking your eyes and brain to work overtime every night at 2 a.m. What if you flipped that script? What if your home could become your ally, not a quiet source of stress, but a space that supports your movement, your peace of mind, your rhythm of life? You don't have to gut your kitchen or install expensive systems. You just need to notice and gently, compassionately, make choices that reduce effort and increase ease. That might mean letting go of a rug that no longer serves you, or moving a lamp, or creating wider walkways. These are not admissions of aging. They are affirmations of self-respect. So the next time you walk through your home, take note, not with judgment, but with curiosity. What feels easy? What feels tense? What asks more from you than it should? Because once you start seeing your home this way, not just as a place you live, but as a partner in your safety, you begin to realize how many quiet changes are waiting to happen. Let's keep going, because now that we've gently opened our eyes to the hazards, it's time to explore the simple, beautiful solutions that can turn those hazards into harmony. Sometimes, it's not the grand gestures that change our lives. It's the tiny, quiet things. The adjustments so small, they almost go unnoticed. A light left on in the hallway. A rug that no longer slides underfoot. The sense of calm that comes when you know your home is looking out for you. There's something deeply empowering about taking action, especially when that action isn't loud or dramatic, but thoughtful, loving, rooted in the belief that your comfort and safety matter. And here's the beautiful part. Creating a safer home doesn't mean tearing everything apart. It often means making simple, graceful changes that speak to the season of life you're in right now. Let's begin with a change that seems almost too basic to matter. Non-slip surfaces. But oh, how they do matter. We've all had that moment, stepping out of the shower and suddenly slipping just enough to send your heart racing, or catching your toe on the edge of a rug you've walked over 100 times. These moments are quick, but they leave a lasting impression, because they remind us that something as ordinary as water or a rug can take us down if we're not careful. A non-slip bath mat, textured strips on the stairs, a rubber grip underneath that hallway runner. They don't call attention to themselves. They don't change your decor. But what they do is create a hidden layer of safety that your body can trust. And that trust turns into freedom. Freedom to move through your space without hesitation. Freedom to let your mind focus on what you love, not what might happen. And it's not just the bathroom. Kitchens, entryways, laundry rooms, anywhere there's water or tile or wood that's polished smooth, those are places where a little grip can go a long way. Now let's step into another invisible safety net. Lighting. Because light is so much more than brightness. It's clarity. It's confidence. It's your guide in the dark. As we age, our eyes naturally need more light to process what we see. But many homes, especially older ones, still run on lighting designed for younger eyes. The result? Shadows that deepen risks, corners that disappear, steps that blur. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about safety. Changing your bulbs can feel like changing your life. Switch to soft white or daylight LED bulbs, brighter, more energy efficient, and gentler on aging eyes. Walk your home at dusk and see where shadows gather. Add a lamp in that hallway. Consider motion sensor nightlights for late-night trips to the bathroom. Imagine waking up at 2 a.m., the room softly aglow, your path illuminated. No fumbling, no guesswork, just peace. Because that's what good lighting does. It brings peace. And in a season of life where peace can feel fragile, that kind of security is priceless. Next, let's talk about something we all carry, whether we see it or not. Clutter. Not the kind that makes a home messy, but the kind that slowly, subtly, makes it harder to live with ease. That stack of magazines beside your favorite chair. The small stool by the bed that collects clothes. The plant stand you sometimes have to sidestep in the hallway. None of these are dangerous on their own. But together, they ask your body to twist, pivot, remember where not to step. That's work. Quiet, constant work that your body shouldn't have to do. Decluttering doesn't have to mean letting go of the things you love. It means giving them and yourself more room to breathe. It means clearing walkways so your movements can be simple, not calculated. It means removing the things that create friction so that what's left flows. Start with one area. The path from your bed to the bathroom, the kitchen counters, the hallway to the front door. Ask yourself, does this item make life easier or harder? And answer without judgment. Because this isn't about shame, it's about care. About crafting a space that supports you, rather than one that demands extra energy. What comes next might surprise you. Every little change you make, no matter how small, is a signal to your brain and body that you matter, that your safety is important, that you deserve ease. And when your body believes it is safe, everything shifts. You sleep better, you move more freely. You feel less tension, less fear, and more joy. Because joy doesn't live in extremes. It lives in the everyday, in the ability to walk across your own living room without gripping furniture, in the confidence to carry a cup of tea from the kitchen without worrying about balance, in the quiet thrill of knowing that your home is truly working with you, not against you. Let's pause here and acknowledge something powerful. You've already begun. By paying attention, by being open to change, by reading this far. That's courage, that's wisdom, that's love in action. So now, let's keep going. Because the room we're heading into next may be the smallest in the house, but it carries some of the biggest risks. And with just a few heartfelt adjustments, it can become one of the safest, most supportive places you spend your time. We're heading into the bathroom next, and you won't believe how transformative a few simple changes can be. There's a quiet truth about getting older that most people don't talk about enough. The bathroom becomes a place of risk. And not because it's inherently dangerous, but because the things we once did without a second thought, stepping into the shower, reaching for the soap, lowering ourselves to the toilet, now require a new level of attention, awareness, sometimes even courage. It might be the smallest room in your home, but when it comes to safety, the bathroom carries the biggest weight. A slip here doesn't always mean just a bruised ego. It can mean weeks of recovery, fear of independence lost, or worse. But here's the thing, none of that has to be your story. Not if we begin now. Not if we see this room for what it truly is. A space that can either diminish your freedom or support it beautifully. Let's start with one of the most common causes of injury, slipping in the shower or tub. Most bathtubs are smooth by design. Add water, a bit of soap, and suddenly it's like stepping onto ice. Your body tightens. One wrong movement, and your foot slips out from under you. The fall happens fast. The pain comes next. But what if you never had to hold your breath in fear each time you washed your hair? A simple non-slip mat can make a world of difference. Not the kind that slides or folds or curls at the edges, but a mat designed to stay put, grip the floor, and give your feet traction even when wet. Or better yet, textured adhesive strips that you place right onto the tub or shower floor. They're subtle, affordable, and most importantly, they work. Now imagine adding a grab bar. Not just something you reach for during a fall, but something that's always there, like a friend, offering you a steady hand. Installed beside the tub or inside the shower, a grab bar gives you control. It lets you move with intention, not caution. You're not clinging, you're choosing stability. And that choice adds confidence. Let's move to the toilet area, where many people underestimate the difficulty that comes with simply sitting down and standing back up. As joints stiffen and balance shifts, lowering to a standard toilet seat can become awkward, even dangerous. The knees creak, the hips protest, and sometimes we use the wall or sink for leverage, which weren't designed to hold our weight. But a raised toilet seat? That changes everything. It reduces the distance your body has to lower. It takes pressure off your joints. And paired with a side grab bar or toilet safety frame, it restores dignity to one of the most personal parts of your day. It may seem small, but being able to use the bathroom without fear, without needing help, is a powerful form of independence. And now, let's talk about something that too often gets overlooked: the path to the bathroom. For many older adults, especially those who wake in the middle of the night, the route from bed to bathroom can be a minefield. Dim lighting, furniture legs, area rugs. That quiet rush to get there in time adds urgency to an already delicate journey. And in those moments, even the smallest misstep can turn into a major event. So light the way. Motion-activated night lights placed along the hallway and just outside the bathroom door create a soft, reassuring path. Install one inside the bathroom too. That way, you're never fumbling for a switch, never walking into darkness, never risking a fall that could have been prevented by something as simple as a glow. Now imagine your bathroom as it could be. A space where you move freely, unhurried, where the towel is within reach, the bath mat doesn't slip. The lighting is soft but bright, and the fixtures respond to your needs, not the other way around. That's not a fantasy. It's a decision, one you can make for yourself right now. And here's where it gets even better. Bathroom safety doesn't mean hospital-style design. Today, grab bars come in brushed nickel, bronze, or matte black. Non-slip mats are made in calming neutrals, not just sterile white. You can choose beauty and function. You can create a space that reflects your style, while honoring your safety. Because you deserve both. What comes next might surprise you. Feeling safe in the bathroom doesn't just reduce the risk of injury, it reduces stress. And stress, when it lingers day after day, can erode confidence, energy, even sleep. But when you trust your environment, when your body doesn't have to brace itself every time you step onto tile, that's freedom, that's relief, that's health. It's not uncommon for older adults to quietly avoid showers or limit their fluid intake at night, simply to reduce the number of times they have to deal with the bathroom. But that avoidance can snowball, leading to hygiene issues, dehydration, even urinary infections. You don't need to live in avoidance. You deserve to live in flow. So if no one has told you this lately, let me be the one. You are not a burden. Your needs are not excessive. Your desire to feel safe and strong and independent even in the bathroom, that's not selfish. That's sacred. And it's not too late to honor those needs. You can start small. You can start now. Add that grab bar. Switch out that mat. Raise that seat. Light that path. Each of these steps is a gift, not just to your future self, but to the present version of you who deserves to feel capable and calm, not cautious and afraid. Let's keep going. There's one more part to this journey. One more way to make your home not just safe, but sacred. Because safety is just the beginning. What comes next is the life you get to live because of it. You've made it to the final part of this journey, and I want to begin by recognizing just how meaningful that is. Because staying with something, giving it your full attention, being open to reflection and change, that's not easy. Especially when it asks you to rethink the space you've lived in for years, maybe even decades. But you've done it. And that says so much about your spirit. Making your home safer as you age is not about giving in to decline. It's about protecting the life you still have left to live. It's about choosing freedom, choosing independence, choosing joy. And yes, it's also about prevention. But prevention doesn't mean fear. It means hope. It means that you care about what's next. Let's pause and look back for a moment. You've explored hidden hazards and gentle solutions. You've walked through better lighting, non-slip mats, and grab bars. You've cleared clutter not just for your feet, but for your mind. And you've reimagined the bathroom as a place of peace, rather than worry. So what else can you do to keep building this safe, empowered life? Let's talk about one of the most underestimated tools of aging in place. A personal medical alert system. Many people hesitate when they hear this. Maybe you've even said it to yourself. I don't need that yet. But here's the thing. Those devices aren't about what you need right now. They're about having a plan for what you might need in the future. Think of them as seat belts for the home. Most of us don't expect to crash when we drive, but we still buckle up just in case. Medical alert systems serve the same purpose. They're not a sign that something's wrong. They're a sign that you value your safety and peace of mind. And today's technology makes it easy. Devices are now lightweight, discreet, even stylish. Many come with fall detection, GPS tracking, or emergency buttons that connect you instantly with help. Whether worn as a necklace a wristband, or clipped to your clothing. They give you something incredibly valuable: time. Time to call for help. Time to stay calm. Time to be found quickly. And for your family, they offer reassurance. Fewer just checking in calls filled with anxiety. More real conversations rooted in connection. That's not just convenience. That's freedom for everyone. Now let's look at something even simpler, but just as powerful: smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms. These may seem like standard equipment, but when was the last time you tested yours? Checked the batteries? Installed one in every room? Fires and carbon monoxide leaks don't care about our age. But our ability to respond to them changes as we grow older. That's why functioning alarms are essential, not optional. If yours are outdated, this is your invitation to upgrade. Many newer models last up to 10 years and even come with voice alerts or strobe lights for those with hearing challenges. A working smoke detector doesn't just protect your property, it protects your story. The photos on the wall, the heirlooms passed down, the memories that live in every corner of your home. But safety isn't just about what you install, it's also about what you maintain. And that's why I want to encourage something gentle, simple, but truly life-changing. A regular home safety checkup. Every 3 to 6 months, walk through your home as if you've never seen it before. Look at it through fresh eyes. Are your walkways still clear? Has clutter crept back into the corners? Are your night lights still working? Are the grab bars still tightly secured? Better yet, ask someone to walk it with you. A friend, a neighbor, a family member. 2 sets of eyes are better than one, and sometimes the people who love us most notice the things we've stopped seeing. This doesn't have to be overwhelming. You're not remodeling, you're refreshing. Think of it like tending a garden. A little upkeep here, a thoughtful change there. You're nurturing the place that holds your life. Because the home that served you at 60 might need a few tweaks by 70. That's not failure. That's adaptation. And adaptation is strength. Here's what no one tells you. Making your home safer isn't just about preventing injury. It's about creating space for ease, for joy, for freedom. It's about knowing you can dance in your living room without watching your feet, that you can shower without bracing yourself in fear, that you can sleep through the night without tripping on the way to the bathroom. These are small moments, but they are the fabric of a good life. And if no one has told you this lately, let me say it now. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve a home that lifts you up, not one that holds you back. So whether you've made 1 change or 10, celebrate that. You're not waiting for something bad to happen. You're choosing something beautiful to continue. What comes next might be the most healing truth of all. You are not aging into fragility. You are evolving into wisdom. And that wisdom is what allows you to shape your space, your future, and your sense of peace. So go ahead, replace that bulb, anchor that rug, call someone to install the grab bar, sign up for that safety review. Start small, but start. Because this is your home, and it still has so much to give you. You're not going anywhere, except forward. And I, for one, can't wait to see where you go next. Bye, and see you next time.